McRaven Blood subscribed using Twitch Prime.
No, I'm glad. Okay, so we're muted on this scene. Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome aboard. That specific scene there had it muted. So, hello, everyone. I hope the audio is working for everybody. We are going to do a formal introduction in just a moment to let everyone know we are live for tonight. I'll go into the recording. Pro D Money, great to see you. Sky, thanks for being both in the call with us, in the game, and in chat. That's 3 things, not a both. The same to Mac Raven. Hello, everyone out there. Trying to make it easier on editing for myself, so I shouldn't swap this scene until I'm ready to actually play the music. Where's that button? How's everyone in chat tonight? Welcome aboard. I'm staying behind the scenes for a moment. Don't look at me. Stream Deck. Change profile. Nope, just page. I don't know, what the hell am I doing? Aha! Good. Good. Did it sound okay, by the way? Sorry, Mac. When you first went out to test it, you wouldn't have been able to know. It was just not there. But Prody Money saying hi and all that, so I'm guessing it's working. I have dual Kyles. Now the madness is back. Time for Raven to take some dust. Let loose. That's right. Okay, I'm going to dive straight into it then. I'm going to transition the scene and start playing our music, and we can go into a recap for everybody, the last week's episode, and that'll be that. We'll get into our TTRPG session for tonight. Here we go. Hello, everybody. You are tuning back in to Tales from Tomorrow, our Fallout TTRPG actual play series, which we stream live over on Twitch every Sunday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as syndicate this up to our YouTube channel throughout the week over at the Tales from Tomorrow account. So much of this and much, much more can be found at overseerkyle.com. That's the place to go for all of it. And if I can figure out some of these overlays and controls, maybe I'll put that up on screen to do with something like that. Let you know, overseerkyle.com. And as you might have seen, covered up by it a little bit, if you want to become a paid member, get access to bonus content like the recap we do at the very end of these episodes, to sort of decompress, you can get that by becoming a paid member over on our coffee page, ko-fi.com/Overseer Kyle. And as always, for our housekeeping this week, let you know that you can use the code VAULT2 up on the Bethesda Gear Shop to save 20% off on your orders and to give us massive kickbacks over here. You know, even in the last episode of the Overseer's Log, I was even wearing my little Pip-Boy. This thing's really nice. I just felt like getting it out and getting it on the desk here. And I have a prop review video coming up on the Overseer Kyle YouTube channel. So do me a favor, give this video a like, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and then pop over there to the other one, Overseer Kyle. You can get subscribed for all that content. We have Substacks for both to send you weekly emails whenever new episodes go live. But that's going to be all of the housekeeping recap for this week. We're going to dive into the meat and potatoes here fairly soon. I want to welcome aboard my players. I will shout out our good friend Sky, who is playing his character Sam. He is a sort of pre-war soldier and medic. Sam, welcome to the stream. How are you tonight?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Glad to have you here. Tonight's focus for this evening may be the illustrious Dark Knight playing his character Jim Wayne. DK, how you doing, man? How you hanging in there? Hanging?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Good. Legal defense is all squared away. We're ready to go. No one's swinging this week.
Let's just say I called Saul.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I don't know what that means. I mean, I do, but I don't. I have ideas of what to expect. Next up, we have our great friend Mac Ravenblood playing her character Raven, the Mothman cultist. Hello, Raven. How are you tonight?
Hey, it wasn't me this time that did bad, maybe.
Maybe, because there's always time for Raven to find a new way to concoct some trouble for herself. So that might be on the horizon this evening. We'll get to see what all insanity we get to. Let's recap, though, briefly so the folks know what's going on. Our players had been out of town for at least 2 or 3 episodes, I think, that they had left the town of Hope, which is situated up the Ohio River, a little bit further north than you can get to in the Fallout 76 map. This is up past the West Virginia lumber mill. The quiet, quaint town of Hope, which has been rebuilding over the last couple months, it now being September in our game, almost matching real life. It is a quiet town. They've been rebuilding. They're in a precarious spot where they're under attack by mirelurks on a regular basis next to the river. They also, though, have a lot of lifeblood, a lot of foot traffic that comes through, or more that they could begin to bring into their town, those that are escaping the pit and going south into Appalachia, trying to find the responders or any other semblance of society like at Foundation, hearing all those calls over the radio of growing cities. Well, our little town of Hope hopes to take advantage of that situation. Our players had gone south for an extended tour because the Mothman cult had been growing in strength. They knew that they wanted to get some inoculations going on for the town for this scorched plague. And beyond that, they wanted to get some of this Mothman dust they had down to Point Pleasant. A lot going on with the Mothman. But this week, what we should be focusing on is that before they left the town of Hope, one of their members may have or may not have shot and killed the member of a cult in the town. This is a cult that was presenting themselves as very friendly and hospitable to our characters, and which they had moved in and nicely given a home to. And then a little snafu may or may not have happened, in which case a member of the team, maybe named Jim, maybe grabbed the orb from the cultist, and the cultist reacted in a worried way, and that ultimately resulted in the loss of a life. Or so Jim Wayne is being charged with upon their return to Hope. In the last episode, Jim was confined to the ship while Sam, Raven, and the rest were able to disembark and figure out what was going on. So, as we pick up in today's episode, we're really going to be conversing. I think we've got probably Raven and Sam about to go through the town, getting jurors. If it's okay with everyone here, I believe we're picking up the next morning, unless anyone wanted any nighttime activities or rituals. Did anyone need anything before they went to bed?
No, I think that it's actually perfect because I was going to ask, will we regenerate luck?
Yes, your luck has regenerated now that you're back at town in a rather calm situation. That is correct. All of you can have your luck back maximized.
I need my HP back.
The same to you. You got a full night's rest, and that technically means you have 2 bonus health points. Your maximum health is upped. We've talked about, probably off air, that if you guys want to keep score of that in a different way, you're welcome to do so. If it's easier for you all to think of that maximum thing as like a once a day stim pack type deal, that's fine too. I know it can be a little bit tricky to get on your health bar there. Raven's a typing. I'll jump in with Sam here. Sam, what are you up to as the day starts fresh and new? I'm sure Jim's sleeping in as he does, so we'll regroup with him in just a minute. But what's Sam doing to start the day?
I am going to reach into my wardrobe, and instead of wearing my typical outfit that I wear on our adventures, I'm going to pick up some formal clothing that I got ages ago.
Lovely.
I'm going to put that on.
Does formal clothing give you a buff in this game? I think it does.
Yes, it allows you to re-roll a charisma check.
Oh, smart man. What a good option that is. I like that. So Sam's getting all spiffed up for the day. He's getting ready to present himself at his finest. Silver tongue in check. What do we got Raven up to starting off the day? What's she doing? And if you need a moment to type, well, I will preempt Jim here. Jim, you're going to be up next. You waking up in the kind of clogged, stuffy storage hold of that. That's where we left him, right? Aboard the boat, because the town didn't have a functioning jail anymore. So I believe he was confined to the ship for his sleep. I don't think they allowed him out of there, per se. Give Raven just the last moment here.
I'm deep in thought about what is happening.
Yeah, gathering your thoughts in the morning. Sun begins to come up over the town. Oh, let's do a die roll. Since I got to the new office, I've been a little lazy with this. Let's see what the weather is today. Oh, the rains are coming in, folks. What a dreary day for a trial. Oh, you know what, Raven? You are awake out there and Adam at a time where you get to see a very interesting event. Rains are coming in, but what you notice in this dawn morning light coming through the town, you see that Mayor Smiles has started to put up some decoration around the courthouse, some maybe overly festive, certainly overly festive attire, materials, I should say. It looks more like a Foshnot event or like a winter. You've got all these sort of paper, like not origami, but whatever the heck you call those around the holidays, paper-shaped images and such. All these little flyers and little confettis and things like that are over there. It's looking very Vault-Tec-y, very over the top. However, you can tell this is kind of scavenged materials, like there's an edge of rot to it all, as if all these paper decorations are quite well aged. It seems that the mayor, though, you could see a single sort of printed sign on the ongoing rolls of paper, reams of paper. It says "Trial of Jim Wayne," and it's put over two of the telephone poles that are near the courthouse there. You get to see as a lot of this paper craft it begins to drip, begins to sop and soak and fall apart in the oncoming rainstorm.
Rain is ill omen. They call me savage.
By the way, a shout out to all the people watching us live tonight over on twitch.tv/overseer. Kyle, hello, Wilbur good to see you. Thanks for being in the chat tonight. Sorry that I don't read it much when we're doing the live streams, but feel free to sound off. A lot of the players read it, and I do when we go on break.
This mayor is getting ready to cheer a man death. I will not sure.
So Raven is out there in the morning, coming away with thoughts of despair and somewhat hopelessness, seeing how the legal system can be turned into a parade for the sake of public opinion and such. Very disappointing, huh?
I need to head to PST office.
Are you going to do that right now and you want to head over there?
Sure.
Okay, you go over. The post office in the town of Hope is occupied by one resident in particular who goes by the name of Marcus, the town's last postman. Marcus is a not yet feral ghoul, or partially feral ghoul. His mind is gone, but he retains enough of it to complete a rudimentary task or two on occasion. And if my player chooses to use a luck point upon visiting Marcus, you could get yourself something of interest from the post office. Marcus may be able to pull something up, but I'll give it two different ways. I will say that, one, you can use a luck point to try and gather something for him, but you can also try a charisma check too. So both options will work there, and you can do both methods should you choose. Depends on how much you want to try and get. You know, again, luck points you're welcome to spend throughout the game. I'll just say this, if you spend it at Marcus, although you can conjure up an item at will with the luck point, usually Marcus has a chance of it being nicer than what you might find in the wilds.
Hello, Mark. Do you have little toy that Protectron and some chalk and candles? I will use some.
So above board, it looks like Raven's asking for a miniature toy Protectron, some chalk, and candles is the list I got.
I will use luck.
You'll use luck? With the use of that point, you can subtract that from your poll right now. Marcus scurries off. He rummages through a box. One falls to the ground. Some contents begin to pour out of it. He goes to another, rummages through, grabs the box, brings it back, thrusts it in your hands, Raven. And as requested, you see in this box is a pristine toy Protectron, a miniature figurine. And you see that in the box that's fallen onto the floor, candles and chalk roll out. You can actually gather that the rest of the stuff in there, it sort of looks like it might be some either like school or home supplies, like this kind of order, whatever is in this box is more of the same. You find another flashlight in there. You can have another flashlight to add to your list. And I want to see something here briefly. Is it called our oddities list? Is that what they call this? Missile. Kyler, the game live. There's a list of certain supplies in the game, and I forget what they call it, whether it's like an oddities list or something like that. Miscellaneous item list? Ah, here we go. Okay. You know what I'm going to say you get in there too? Kind of a rare item. This is you get a small backpack. I don't think we do a lot with weight in this game, but just as a heads up, that small backpack adds to the wearer 5 times your strength to your maximum carry weight, which is probably good for you. That might be you getting 30 points of extra carry weight, because I think you have a 6. So 5 times 6, yeah, you get 30 to your carry weight there, Mac. So how about that? She is loaded up with some supplies to start the day. Oh, I'll give you some extras too, because I really like to give out goodies. We're also going to say that there are some foods in there, some pre-war food. What would they be sending for kids? Some some funnel cake in there, maybe? What's on our list here? Would like to give you something nice off this list if I can find a good one in there.
Thank you, Mark. You are the best here. Have this fish I caught.
Mark bites directly into this uncooked fish that you've handed to him. Interesting to you to learn that Mark is apparently someone that can eat fish. Fancy lad snack cake in there, by the way. Get yourself a fancy lad snack cake. That's the word I think I was looking for. Do we have some of those around here?
Can I join in on this?
Sure. Should you choose? Yeah, go for it. You going over to the post office?
Yes, I would like to visit the post office.
Uh-huh.
I have my notebook, and I want, being that these Magic 8 balls were mass-produced, I want to draw the logo as I saw it when we first encountered it, as they were like kind of showing it to us. And I want to see if I can present it to Marcus to try to find another Magic 8 ball.
Sure. Okay, so you're giving him an outline or a drawn image of a Magic 8 ball, and Marcus is tasked with finding you a replacement. Are you doing a luck point for that? Are you going to try and charisma roll? What are you going to do for that?
I will try charisma roll. This is like its own scene, right? Like, will I still have my, if I re-roll it, does it count as a scene?
A scene is about one session worth, so all of tonight would count as one scene, usually.
Okay. I'll pay a luck then.
Yeah, that works fine. Pay a luck point. Marcus goes ahead and shuffles through some more boxes. Winds up sort of near where Mac found her other goods on Raven, but looks down on a lower level, and he kicks a box your way. It slides like from his feet just right across the floor, whoosh, hits you up against the leg there. Sam, you look down at a rather square, rather bland-looking box. You can see with a tab sort of ripped up, the very childish font that screams from the top of it, Magic 8 Ball. You got yourself one.
Perfect. I will store it away to use in the trial later.
Great. Let's go pop over to see what Jim's doing while you two figure out your next steps. Jim, good morning. How are you? Getting out of bed today? What's your routine on the boat life?
Well, not much I can do. I'm stuck here.
Yeah. So what have you been doing to occupy your time this morning as you're coming to? And
Let's just say talking to myself.
Uh-huh.
Just formulating thoughts.
Are you staying down in the hold of the boat, or have you gone up above to catch any fresh air?
I don't think I'm allowed out of the hold.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got it. So you're fully in the hold here. You can hear the occasional feet up above walking across the planks of the ship there. Maybe guards, someone coming on and off, hauling something on and off. That's probably one of the only things that pierces some of your solitude down there as you begin your ideas for the day. You do on occasion hear the little engine sounds of a Mr. Handy that goes up there. You can assume on occasion Alfred's coming back to the boat, maybe to check on things in the captain's on the bridge, I guess, and the rest. So you have options if you ever want to yell out to talk to anyone, Jim, but without doing anything like that, without trying to get in touch with people, you can sit down here as long as you'd like. Well, until you're called.
Yeah.
Okay, establishing where Jim is now. What are Raven and Sam thinking about next? You're in there with Marcus. You both have gotten supplies for your day. I don't know if you two want to have a little dialogue with each other or if you're about to head off and opposite directions, but I'll shut up and let you two formulate. I will say, though, your trial for today is about like a 3 p.m. trial. We'll slap it right there towards the end of the business day. You guys have time this morning to be doing stuff. You will say, just for, again, ease of everything, we'll say it's around 9, 10 in the morning. We're pretty loose with time here.
Sam, do you think Jim really killed him in cold blood like Smiles says?
I don't know, Mac. You know, if they pulled their guns on him first, then it's possible that, he was just doing it out of self-defense. And I really think we could argue that. It's about he didn't know what they would do.
As Raven's typing, you guys begin to head out of the post office, beginning to walk down the street. I'll just say, Sam, where would you like to go? Which direction you walk in?
Have we talked to everyone about joining the jury pool yet? Did we do that last night?
You did not, to my recollection. I don't think you talked to anybody about being on the jury pool. I think that was all today's task. So if you guys want to get on that for this today, this would be the time to do it. Unless you want to, it's up to you guys if you want to act that out and try and set up a game plan with those people in advance, or you guys could choose to fast forward all of that at your leisure and sort of move towards the trial. It's whatever you all want. I figure you might want to talk to some of them. You haven't caught up with Lena in a long time, and honestly, the same for a lot of them. It's your choice, though, ultimately.
Yes, I'll go check on Lena because we haven't really talked to her since she was deathly injured.
Yeah. Lena...
You might be right, but what he said about rewiring Smile is nearly like what Smile wants to do to him. Also, Al feeling we're hurt too.
I know. It was the engineering in him. It was, what can you do? You can't stop a scientist from wanting to tinker. So I'm hoping, again, that was just a lapse in judgment, or, maybe just a joke.
Maybe.
As you both walk and talk, you get up to the infirmary where, upon entering, you can see Lena getting out of the bed there. She has been infirm there for quite a while. It's been probably closer to a week that she's been in here. And as you all are coming in, she looks over her shoulder and greets you. Sam, Raven, good to see you both. It's been a while since I've seen you both, right? I was out of it for quite a long time. Nasty hit to the head in that battle. I feel like I missed out on so much. How you both doing? Where's Jim?
Gotta be honest with you, Lena, we're not doing well since we came back. We've been out. We were going in searching of other Mothman cultists and different groups to help us out, and we had brought one back, and now Jim's on trial for murder.
Oh, what? What? On trial for murder? What for?
Well, in our adventures, we had found this group called the Eightfold Path, and he had a schism with them, ended up with one dead, and now, they want his head for it.
The town, okay, Jim brought a cult to town, and then killed him. And so now the town's mad at Jim for bringing the cult or for killing the cult?
I think for killing the cult, it seems the town has actually kind of grown on them.
Okay, well, that's a lot to unpack. Well, how? So they want to kill Jim now? Is this like a kangaroo court? What's going on? They're like got him hostage right now. Where's Jim? Where's Tom? Where's everybody? What? This is a lot to take in.
Jim's locked up in the holding bay of the boat. Most everyone is at their normal stations. But, I know it's a lot to take in, but we're going to need your help. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about it because the trial's going to be today.
What?
And they're going to go over all the information.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm not sure exactly what to make of all that, but okay. So I'm to be there?
You're to be involved in it, if you're willing. Smiles, he's the one running the show. He's running off of some sort of Vault Tech code for whenever a murder happens in these new towns that they're building. And he's granted us the right to a jury. So we need you, if you're willing.
To be on the jury. Well, that sounds mighty complicated. I'm really not in a good shape for this, but I will try to help Jim out. One of the last things I remember is... Do you remember, pardon me, do you remember Jim trying to fiddle with the gun on the APC before we went into combat and making it all go haywire? Did he try and sabotage us in that fight?
I think that hit is clouding your judgment, Lena. I think he was just trying to help, and it went a little haywire as he's not familiar with those types of machines. He wasn't a military guy.
Wow. Well, okay, if you say so. Boy, what a day that was going into the battle, and the turret was spinning, and oh my God, thought we weren't going to make it. I'm lucky I did, though. I'm real lucky I did.
Well, I wouldn't be asking you this after all you've been through if this weren't literally life and death, but according to Vault-Tec protocol, this type of thing calls for a hanging, and we certainly don't want that happening to our buddy.
Wow. Okay, well. Okay then, I'll be ready. You all can present the facts, I guess, in this big old trial. I'll be there. I'll be there with as much judgment as I can uncloud.
Thank you, Lena. We truly appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Yeah, hanging is no fun, Lena.
Sure thing, Raven, I agree. I solidly agree. Are you two sticking around, or are you heading out? Where are you off to next after your little reminiscence with Lana there?
Did Jacob happen to overhear any of that?
He could have, yeah.
I'm gonna approach Jacob.
Sure.
And ask him, So, did you get the gist of what happened?
Yeah, Sam, I did. That's a hell of a situation, man. Well, what got into your friend, though? Why'd he kill that man in our town? Targeting our doorstep like that.
I'll give you the full story whenever the trial happens, because I got the same question that I asked you. Would you be willing to be on this jury pool?
Well, I could do that, but I will do that. I'll accept it before I tell you the caveat. I accept. But I gotta let you know, I'm gonna be impartial. You figure I met some of these cultists and their intake. There's some nice fellas and lads and ladies and all the rest in there. It's not a bad group of people. They might have their little thing that they cling to, but who doesn't in the wasteland, you know? I'll be honest, as a doctor, I don't like seeing fairly neutral people killed in this town or around anywhere. Your friend bringing that sort of lawlessness, that sort of Wild West justice is not something I want in town, to be honest with you.
I respect that, and I only ask that you keep your mind open because, we have some facts as well, and we hope that you are open to hear our side of the story.
I am. I hope that whatever comes of it, the law is reset in a way that the people aren't doing this anymore. That's my key priority here.
I hear you. I can only hope that, justice prevails, friend. That's all we can ask for.
Agreed. I will be there. I'll make sure Lena gets there in one piece, too.
Thank you. Much appreciated, and thank you for taking care of her.
Absolutely.
With that, I'm going to head out.
Sure.
And I suppose I'll hit up Terry next.
Okay, going over to the general goods store. Great. Ring-a-ding-ding as the bell rings as you go in. Terry's in there, minding the register, kind of going through some stock. He's got listed on a little sheet there. Got his little clipboard going through it. Sam! Good to see you. How you doing today?
Could be better, friend. How about yourself?
Well, fine enough. I hear, got word that maybe old Rusty's coming up this way, looking at some new wares he could be bringing. Said he's in a hurry, not really sure how much he can pack, but I gave him a little list of our needs, some wants, etc. You need anything before? Well, he's probably already gone now, looking at his wristwatch.
I do have quite a big favor to ask you.
Okay, lay it on me.
I need you to maybe close up the shop around 3 p.m. because I'm sure you've heard of the trial that's happening.
The one that the mayor came down here to get all those supplies for out of the stock room.
Yes, sir, that very same. We've been entitled to a jury of our peers, and who could have thought better than the best trader in the town, and someone who gets to, see many different people of the town come through than old Terry.
Well, I'll be there, Sam, if you need me. I heard a little bit about what's going on, not too much. I don't even know how much I can say to you now if you're inviting me to be on the jury, but man, what a dangerous place this town's becoming, I gotta say. Makes me worry.
Yeah, that mayor seemed way too happy to hang someone.
Well, I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I mean, the wasteland is what the wasteland is. You see all kinds of types. Not the first time we'd have, see someone in the wasteland get some wasteland justice. But it does suck mighty fierce that it's your friend. I can feel that for you. But dang, don't be going around shooting people up. Bang, bang, bang. It's, well, you know what my pops used to say? If you're going to do that, do it outside of town. Don't get caught. But I wouldn't do that now. Don't look at me like that.
I won't say anything now to sway you. I'm hoping all the swaying will be done in the courtroom.
Yeah, none up on the gallows. That would be good. Let's keep them empty.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, well, I will be there. 3 p.m. I can put that on the mayor's tab that he opened today.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it.
Sure thing, Sam. All of my potential expenses, all the potential sales, I'll charge him for all of those.
And with that, I will head out and meet with Hell's Bells next.
Okay. The mayor is not in there right now. I think I'm a little too lazy to move that Protectron out of there, but he is not sitting around there. I'll just zoom in further. He's out and about in town, meeting and greeting and getting people ready for the trial today. He's kind of making a show of it. You probably, in fact, heard him and seen other people hustling and bustling. It's probably a good time to kind of fill you in on that there's a dreary rain setting in over the town, but there's sort of an energy in the streets. People are feeling directed towards something today. It would be over the top to say that people feel like there's a festive flair to it, but with what the mayor was able to put up overnight, with the mayor now out today, like gathering people for the event, it is starting to take on that sort of end of day pep rally or let's leave the office early sort of vibe. You know, people are motivated towards something, and that might be the best way to describe it. People are looking at it as a break from the doldrum of their daily tasks. So at 3 p.m., you know, like in the old days, people like to go out to a good hanging because it's something to do and it brings the town together. And so you start to see a little bit more foot traffic out in the street. People, even with the rain, are starting to go around. And you hear the mayor in the backdrop, you know, "Greetings, citizen. Please attend our trial this afternoon at 3 p.m. as the town of Hope versus Jim Wayne." And he's going around and he's repeating his little thing as he goes sort of shop to shop. People are kind of neutrally reacting to it. They're like interested. They're not, no one's like, woohoo! But people are like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll be there. Sure. Some of the townsfolk probably don't even know who Jim Wayne is. Some of them would. Some of them, there really hasn't been too much where you guys have been like in front of the whole town and kind of bared all that truth. You guys were, in front of some of these people for the, like the shooting range day, although Jim wasn't a part of that. That was, I believe, Sam and Raven, I think. So, yeah, the town's probably not super duper aware who Jim Wayne is on average. Depends on who you're talking to, though. Like, the key players know, but the less than don't. So what's the spot? We're going in here, we're talking to Hell's Bells. We go on into the church, which is serving as the courthouse. You walk your way back. You see Hell's Bells as she does. She's going through some of the supplies here, and there's a couple soldiers in the room with her. She's got 2 or 3 of the town's militia there, guard, whatever you'd like to call them in this case. Sammy kind of around the corner and probably give her a little wave or something, huh?
I'll give her a wave, walk up, and I'll ask, "How's it going, Bells? It's been a little while."
Sam, it is a day, my friend. It is, I'm sure I know what you're here to be talking about. I'm guessing this has something to do with Jim.
Indeed it does. We've been given the right to a jury for this trial, and we need people who know him, who have seen some of the things that he's done. I mean, this is our really the only shot. This is a trial of a 7 against 1. So we need as many people as we can.
Wow. Well, you see, that puts me in a little bit of a pickle because I'm in charge of the town's security and general preparedness, which is why you find me here in the same building that's about to try your friend for disrupting that security and peace. And so I just got to level with you, Sam. That is quite a twisting of obligations you're asking me. I respect the ask, but it is a tough one for me.
I have arguments for how Jim has helped secure security and peace for this town, if you'd be willing to listen to them whenever we go on the trial.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I could be there and listen. I just don't know how. I don't know if you're asking the right person, if I should be on your jury because of my obligations. But if you are asking, knowing that, I could do it. I could do it. But I
I
gotta
understand.
protecting the piece of hope here.
I understand your obligations, but we don't have many options, unfortunately.
Well then, I will be there. Let us hope that justice prevails, huh?
Yeah, that's my theme of the day, most definitely.
Well, good luck to you, Sam.
Thank you. With that, I will go to the person saved best for last, and I will see if Tom will come help me.
Oh, sure. Okay, we're going to Tom's office. Tom Clifton, you knock on the door as it jingles and opens. He looks up from his keyboard, got his big pipe and cup of coffee next to him. Sam, Raven, don't expect this is good news today, huh?
Not necessarily. I need your help, Tom.
Okay.
You know that robot wears the hat of mayor, but we know that it's really you who is kind of the backbone of this community, and we need that voice today as one of our jurors in this trial.
Well, look, I'll try and be on it. I don't know if the mayor will keep me or toss me, but I will go. I will try. I will say what I can, or, well, I guess I won't be asked any questions, huh?
We only ask that you listen.
Oh, man, Sam, your friend is just putting this whole town in a world of hurt over here. It's just, this isn't what we should be doing. None of it. The whole thing. We shouldn't have to be cleaning up dead bodies in town. We shouldn't. Anyway, if the mayor will take me as a juror, I'll do I'll say my piece.
I don't disagree with you, Tom, but I'm hoping that all of this can be built upon, and this is the end of this type of stuff. We can only hope that we're on to a better, brighter future. That's what hope is about, right?
Well, Sam, I look, you don't need to lecture me on my town here, but I think maybe what's getting lost in connection somewhere is that this is a reaction to what your friend did and what you guys brought here, right? I mean, you brought the cultists, then your friend killed the cultists, then you left them to rot, and now you're coming back. And like I said, I'm not trying to be rude to you, but it sounds to me like you're trying to say that this is somehow the mayor's fault or the town's fault, or that, like, we're being backwards for trying to hold a murderer to account. And that opens a whole can of worms about who's okay to murder people and if that's an option. But I just want to reframe that for you a little bit.
Oh, I didn't intend anything by that. I can only hope that, when we lay out our side of the table, it'll be listened to. Because right now, a lot of the reactions are coming from, this one group, and we haven't really had a voice in this.
What, have you even talked to them? I mean, they're not bad people. They're a little obsessed with that orb, but I mean, I just don't understand. I know you guys about 2-3 weeks more than I know them, and they remind me of you guys coming to town. Fresh-eyed, ready for adventure. And when this town moved a little too quickly on your friend Raven there. Almost killed her the first night she was here. And they didn't. They showed restraint. I just wish I could say the same thing about your friend, who did not show the same mercy to someone in the exact same situation. Cultists came to town, looked at funny, killed within the first 12 hours of being here. And for what? Just to add an extra stain to the floorboards. Sam, there's a part of me that thinks If fate were a little bit different, it might not have been Raven that got executed or attempted to that night. It could have been your friend there. And if that had happened, what different world would we be in now? Would the cult be alive and kicking? Would they not be here at all? It's just crazy to think about those things. Well, one little bit of restraint can do for you.
I hear that, but I do hope once again that you'll hear our side out, because I do think that ultimately it was a little bit of a different scenario, which will be detailed at trial today.
Okay, well, I'll be there. You know my opinion on it all, and I'm glad you do. I'm glad you know what I'm going in there with, and just it feels like I'm a little too close to it to be really objective, is all I'm saying. But I will take your invite and I will go.
Thank you, Tom.
We'll see if you're thanking us all later. Catch you at the
We
trial.
will. And with that, Tom said something about it, and I was thinking about it too. Swinging by these Eightfold Path people. I want to see if maybe Raven and I can do a little bit of investigating and see if we can check out the crime scene and maybe uncover more. Since we weren't there, maybe there was something more to it.
Okay. We will do that whenever we come back from the break. Raven can keep typing whatever message she's got. We'll take our break then with that notion. If you want to queue me up with anything extra before you go, that'd be great too. But now you've got all your jurors lined up. You got 5 jurors. So who do we have again? Let me check the list. We got Lena. We got Jacob. We got Terry. We got Tom. And we got Hell's Bells. Ready to go.
Sounds good.
Raven's ready. She's so excited for this. She's chat. Oh my gosh. The people out there in chat, this is either going to end in glory or chaos tonight. The ropes are getting higher. That's the wrong word. I'm walking with Sam. I will tell him about my plan. Okay. Well, Raven, when we go on this AFK break, you have time to type up and proofread your message there. So take your time. Well, actually, though, remember to go on your AFK break early, Raven. 10 minutes will be gone from the keyboard here. So get yourselves ready. I don't know if this is the right button. Here we go. Okay, everybody. With that said, we are back at it. The trial of Jim Wayne is about to commence nearly soon. We have our trusty dusty ghoul coming up the road, Rusty Dusty Bones. He's coming in to be Jim's defense attorney. We got that on our side. How's our chat doing? We got a Raven typing. Who else do we have back? We got a Sam and a Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Very good, very good. Wow. I'm just looking at the chat there. Okay, so where we had left off, I think we're actually going to pick up. So Sam, you and Raven, I think, are walking to the cultist's house to ask them some questions. As you are on your way there, Jim, in the hold of that ship, you hear a certain familiar voice call down from the stairs above. Jim, are you down there? It's me, Alfred. I was wondering if you might be available to talk for a brief moment.
Well, considering I'm stuck down here, I'd have nowhere to go, so sure, yeah. What do you got?
Well, it's just that last night, I should not have been prying, but I could not help myself. These walls are not so thick. I overheard you talking to Master Sam about, well, not showing any remorse about the murder and with the trial, and you had even gone so far as to suggest rewiring the mayor, and well, I found the whole situation rather troubling, and I wanted to address it with you because, as they say, better out than in.
Well, I appreciate you coming to me, but you have nothing to worry about. I mean, yes, I did say that that I had no remorse, but because it was what I consider self-defense. I mean, they attacked me and I fought back. I had to, otherwise I would have been killed.
Well, I don't think you understand what alarms me in this situation. It's that it seems you're willing to trade someone else's life for your own, very, very willy-nilly, and I find that all to be quite alarming because, as I understand from Master Sam, the town has threatened to either kill you or lobotomize you, which both sound awfully scary. But at the same time, it sounds like both of those options are things you would gladly do to others, like the cultist who you would have killed and would have killed again, and you're talking about lobotomizing the mayor of the town because you're not happy with the verdict or even proposition that you're on trial, and well, it makes me quite concerned for my own physical safety, if I may be so honest, and as captain of this boat, it makes me quite alarmed to find that the prisoner I'm transporting here is maybe so inclined as to kill me to get me out of the way or rewrite my memories if it meant you getting off the boat.
Well, Alfred, how would you feel if you were under the command of some faulty code by some defunct corporation that doesn't exist anymore, telling you that you need to execute people willy-nilly?
Is anyone under that in this situation?
The mayor, of course.
But it seems that he's only trying in reaction to keep peace in the town.
So, keeping peace by executing somebody who defended themselves in an attack?
Well, I can't argue that point. I believe that's what they're going to talk about in court. But again, it sounds to me like you're not showing any kind of concern. So the solution here is, if I were under the directive of some corporation following my objective, you would eliminate me because you don't like the directive.
Not eliminate you, but free you.
You're trying to free the mayor from the job he was appointed by the town.
I'm trying to give the mayor free will.
am unsure of exactly how that would happen, or if he's not already exhibiting some degree of free will. So you're mad that the programming has consequences. So you're going to forcefully rewire the robot which the town has doing a job for them. Master Jim, this is all very confusing, and it's... Well, keep in mind, Master Jim, that I have lived my entire life in this town. All I know, outside of our most recent adventure, is this town, and... My, to think that we are at the level we are, such barbarians here. It's like one of those awful stories that I don't like reading, where the villain ends up winning the day and everyone else is worse for wear.
But Alfred, I mean, we liberated you from the work of having to clean those comics. Don't you feel like you've experienced things and enjoyed things?
I have experienced new locations, but I'm still doing what I always love, which I was doing then too, which is keeping my surroundings pristine and the heart of the town beating, and again, I just don't see how murdering anyone new to the town accommodates that goal.
Remember, it's not murder, it's self-defense.
You keep saying that, Master Jim, but your comments yesterday and even the way you framed it now don't really sound much like self-defense to me.
Well, there's only so much you can say, and I've said what I had to. But in the end, it's still self-defense.
Well, Master Jim, I hope the court sees it that way for your sake. And I hope for my safety that something is done to protect the robots of this town. I've had enough to say here. I have to go. And Alfred flies back up the stairs of the ship's hold. Not convinced of what is to come. I would say that as Sam and Raven are walking towards the cultist house, for those of you with the most acute eyes, you might notice Alfred get to the top of the ship there and begin hovering back towards the dock, far away from both of you walking, but you might see that he's departed the ship, probably part of his rounds, keeping tabs on things. As Sam and Raven begin their trek, they wind up over at the house occupied by the orb cultists. We'll pass it back to you, too.
Sam, I have planned to save Jim, but it might go very wrong for the town. If it does, I want you to stop me.
What is it?
What is it?
I will call the wise to save him if needed, but the last I tried it, I summon a dim one.
I would be very careful with that. If you feel the need to do it, maybe just save it as a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, you are right. I hope you and Rusty can save him.
Me too. We've brought, a lot of blight with the Mothman to this town, and I just do worry about you summoning the dim one and something terrible happening. They've already got eyes on us.
Yeah, about that someday I tell you something about my past.
I'd like to hear it. Whenever you feel comfortable.
You might not like it.
Well, I'm about to have to get our friend off of a murder charge here, so, nothing can surprise me anymore.
Yeah, let's go say hi to Orb, guys.
I agree. I'll knock on the door, see if they'll even let us in.
Yeah, you find the door is open, meaning like you can. It's sort of left ajar. There's a screen door. You can hear there's activity inside, and you get the idea that you can go on in.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, hello there. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the House of the Orb. Oh, welcome. We remember you. You were the one who brought us to this town. Oh, thank you for the wonderful accommodations you've given us all here. We're so appreciative of you availing us these wonderful corridors. Oh, thank you for allowing us this space. It's very hospitable of you to allow us into your town. And your people, aside from a great occurrence, one in particular, everyone in this town has been very accommodating of us. It's been a wonderful time.
Well, you're very welcome. But unfortunately, I have come to talk about that great occurrence.
Ah, yes, the heinous murder of brother, what is his name again? They asked the guy next to him. I just always called him brother. Our brother. He's dead. Very sad.
I have in my notes here that there was someone in the room with Jim and brother when this happened.
Yes.
Is he around?
Yes, they're in the kitchen. Would you like to speak with Brother Frank?
Yes, please.
Brother Frank, come and join us in the living room, please, if you could. There's a man here with questions for you. Okay, I'll be there in a moment. And he comes out carrying a coffee. Yes, Samuel. Hello, welcome. Thank you for bringing us to your town. The Orb feels gracious to be here, that is clear. Our speaker is freshening up in the bathroom, should you choose to wait for him. Maybe you're here to speak with him instead of I.
No, I actually had a few questions for you, Brother Frank. You were here when brother was killed, correct?
Yes, he was a rather new, maybe not, member of the cult. I don't exactly remember too much about him, to be honest. People come, people go. The orb, it spins, it shakes, and gives us an answer, and with it we go.
Well, I have, an account of what happened that night, and I would like to get your account as well, so I can cross-reference them.
Okay, certainly. Let us account together.
So it looks here that Jim was in here, and you two noticed that he had the orb in hand.
Yes. Remember how we had told you all, do not touch the orb. It is a very sacred artifact. And then Jim did touch the orb when he thought people weren't looking.
But I have here that it said that the orb called to him.
Well, the orb speaks to the eightfold speaker. I can't speak if it speaks to your friend. In fact, it won't speak to me, and I don't touch the orb for that reason.
It says that while brother he didn't necessarily believe this. It seemed like you might have had a thought that it was possible.
Oh, anything is possible. Anything your wills could be. There is a step, a ritual to which your friend failed to become the next Eightfold Speaker to take over that role, even though we still have an Eightfold Speaker. He's alive. But your friend thought to maybe usurp his crown or throne or orb itself. I'm not really sure. I don't myself have ambitions for grandeur. I just follow the path the orb sets forth for me.
And then it looks like what happened next was that Brother pulled out his firearm. Is that correct?
I do believe he brandished it in defense of the orb, yes. As is our way, if someone is to touch our orb, we must reclaim it, whether that means killing them or not. Protecting the orb is of utmost importance.
So Brother would have killed him for merely touching the orb, correct?
If he would not have relinquished it to Brother, yes, likely he would have.
And then it looks like Jim, he did ask the orb a question. He asked if the orb demanded that Brother be slain then and there, and it looks like it told him without a doubt. Did you happen to see any of that?
I do remember him shaking the orb, but you see, the problem is, it's just as if I were to shake the orb. The orb will answer, but it may not answer true. You must be the chosen spokesperson of the orb. The speaker of the Eightfold Path knows how to discern its great wisdom. It would be like finding a book in a foreign language if you or I were to shake the orb. It has words, no doubt, and meaning, no doubt. But what is the word and what is the meaning? Unless your friend is an Eightfold Speaker with his own ball and path, then I cannot imagine anything it told him would be valid. In fact, it would be quite heretical.
Was Jim made aware of this before any of this happened?
I don't know. Why did your friend take the orb? If he didn't know our sacred ritual and custom. I mean, we did warn you all when you first met us that it would be dangerous it would be a violation of our sacred tenets to touch it.
Yes, but with all the talk of the orb's power and how it's always divine and true, without that knowledge that only the Eightfold Speaker can read it, perhaps he was going off the judgment that it's always right.
Wow. Could that mean your friend has a permanent level of misjudgment, court intrinsic to his being, that anything that challenges him is automatically a threat worthy of being slain? What a fascinating idea. And alarming.
If he believed in the power of the orb at the time, and it was told that the orb said he should do it, maybe he was just going with the orb's word.
So your friend is now a die-hard orb believer. How interesting. What a vast change of pace from the idea he espoused that day. Has he had some sort of moment of clarity to give him this insight, this change of heart from the vulgarities and foulness he spread upon the orb's name that day?
Perhaps the orb showed him the light at the time. People have lapses in faith. People go in and out all the time. Perhaps he was just having a crisis.
Well, how fascinating is that? I will remember that next time I am in a pickle and need an excuse to commit murder. I think that is a fascinating alibi, and it certainly contradicts the words he said that day, and it certainly contradicts the orb denying him being chosen for the path, being the next speaker. What a conundrum that would threaten to shake our entire religion to the core. But yet none of what you say actually tracks with what we believe. So it's not really, it would be, let me say this, Sam, I appreciate you trying to understand us, but what you're saying is sort of a mockery and an infantilization of our religious beliefs. And so it doesn't really convince me that your friend was acting in good faith, but instead seems like this is a parlor trick to confuse me about watching your friend kill my friend in this room. Well, friend might be a little bit of a stretch. Brother didn't know him very well, but he followed his beliefs until the end, and the orb will praise him for it. Is your friend Jim willing to give up the life that he has made for himself and join the Eightfold Path to become one with it in all of its worldly manifestations? Now that he has seen the light?
I can't speak
Maybe.
for him in that regard.
Maybe. Or you yourself are of a cult of the woods. You understand what it's like. And what would your deity think about such a act among the most loyal congregants?
Yes, I follow the wise Mothman.
We have slain many Mothman cultists in our time. Thanks to the power of the orb, may it bless our path. Guide us away from the darkness that your cult represents.
Yes, I know many do follow a dark one. I did too for a time.
Well, may you be a good change and a wising of the light for them. Oh, the Eightfold Speaker comes. Speaker! Oh, Speaker! Hello, Speaker! Hello, everyone! I have finished using the toilet. Please give the bathroom a moment. Yes, guests! Oh, Samuel and Raven, how wonderful to see you both here. Oh, glory to the orb that he brought you to our path. Hello. Please take a seat. Can we give you any refreshments while you're here?
Hello, Speaker.
Hello, Raven. Great to see you. Well, in fact, let me,
Hello,
pardon
Speaker.
me, I will. He turns to the side and he shakes the orb because you can hear him loud enough. Is it great to see them? Yes, definitely. Yay! Yes, welcome. Great to have you here. You're not here about your friend, are you?
Unfortunately so.
Oh, what a troubling occurrence this has been. One of my members of the sect here has gone to be with the orb. We've lost so many people in such a short amount of time. 3 people in one day is... shattering, really.
May the orb guide them in the afterlife.
May the orb guide them, you hear some of the people say. Take a seat, sit down. There's a couch and every... Oh, please help yourself. The rest of the members, they'll stand guard. Don't mind
Wise
them.
one be with them.
Is the wise one a real thing? Oh, how interesting. Okay. Well, welcome. So what can I do for you both? You were talking with Brother Frank. Frank, thank you for being here. You're good to go about your duties now. Brother Frank gets up and leaves the room. Are you all ready for today's trial? I hear the mayor has organized a bit of a picnic in advance of it. There's going to be something like street vendors over there selling food. It's shaping up to be quite the festivity. Odd festivity. I'm not really used to this type of festive tone to a morbid event, but As I asked the orb, is this a good idea?
A party, how cult-like.
Definitely yes! The orb says that the town is on the right path, and that is a good sign. Glory to the orb and all of its wisdom. Yes, Raven, I agree. It is quite cult-like of the town. And people have called
I
us a
say
cult
the town
before.
is going to bad place.
Really? The orb disagrees with you. It says this is a good thing. I'll ask again, is this a good thing for the town? Signs point to yes. Well, I don't know what all I can do to satiate your minds here today, but we should see that your friend is ready and everything goes according to plan. Max hanging her head in sadness. Oh, cheer up, Mac, Raven. Oh, Raven, it's the way of the thing. The orb tells us, just as you look, it even says that your spiritual beliefs might even be true. This is a glorious day. I will be honest, I'm having a hard time leveling with you both emotionally. Every time I seem to talk about something exciting, you all react with sadness, and it makes me feel confused.
There's a lot riding on this, friend. You know, if everything goes bad, well, then our good pal is going to end up on the end of a rope. And we're not too excited about that prospect.
Well, let me ask the orb then. Should they worry about their friend's well-being? Yes, says the orb. The orb says yes. You should worry. Are you worrying now?
I've been worried.
Well, good for you then. You get a luck point back if you're worrying right now for your friend. Whoever's worried right now.
I do have one more question about the night that
Yes.
this all happened.
Yes, I was in the kitchen. And I believe it was morning.
Sorry, the morning. Did anyone get the opportunity to look over the body after everything happened?
He shakes the orb. Did anyone get to look over the body? Now, well, I cannot predict that. I remember that there was police protectrons which took the body out. And there was, well, the gunshot, I think, mostly alarmed people, but I don't know much, and it doesn't seem the orb remembers that either. Probably alarmed. The orb had been handled by a heathen from outside of the cult. Poor thing was probably stunned fierce.
I guess above the board,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where did this shot land? I tried to look up previous rolls, but I'm curious on where. Like, did he shoot him in the head? Did he shoot him in the leg?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if DK remembers that by chance.
No, I don't.
It was chest in video.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
There is like noticeable blood stain if you're being really attentive to it on the green carpet there near those chairs, right in front of the kitchen. Because Jim was probably about where Sam's character icon is now, maybe even closer to the cigarettes that are there. And because he had just grabbed that orb after most of them broke for the kitchen. And so...
It was dead center, you guys.
Yeah. So it was like a pretty public killing, too. Like, you know, everyone was just in the kitchen, and they shot him dead right in, right next to this table here.
I appreciate your hospitality. I think I'm going to make my final preparations for this. Raven, if you'd like to talk to them some more, you're welcome to. But I am ready to head out.
Sam, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Let me just say from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry that your friend caused such a rift between us all. We wanted nothing more than the success and prosperity of this town, and what a wonderful experience we all could have had. Did you know, by the way, Sam, before you go, that we've had a couple of your members of the town express interest in coming to some of these meetings? It's been quite lovely to get to talk to them more. I'm quite hopeful there'll be new members of the flock to make up for the congregation lost. I have no doubt we will recover. And he shakes the orb. We will recover.
I can only hope that everyone will recover from this. Thank you.
Sister Raven, are you staying with our great cult here today? I mean, sect. Are you staying with our sect today? Are you going off on an adventure of your own, maybe to see the gods themselves? Oh, she's gone silent. Well enough! To the pancakes! And they go off to the kitchen, leaving you in that room by yourself, Raven. You are... Whoop, whoop, whoop. They all go for pancakes. Free to leave. Where are you two off to now? It's about time. Let's just say in the next, 10 minutes, we should probably get to trialing. What do you guys think?
I'm ready to go.
You got one more character who hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, yeah, we gotta talk to Rusty.
Who isn't even in town yet.
Okay, well, we can await.
I think that looking at the clock, looking at things that are going round, I don't think you can wait too much. I think as you guys start going around town, you recognize the time's getting close and Rusty hasn't shown. It's probably already getting closer to about 2 o'clock now, about 1 hour till showtime. The town's starting to get together. There's a lot of festivity going on the street here outside of the courthouse. The weather has broken for the day. The dreary rain that came and ruined the mayor's paper craft has gone, leaving a disgusting, hazy, sweaty, kind of muggy September afternoon. You see a lot of the townsfolk going up and down. You do, as you're actually, I'd say about now, while you're getting to this stage of it, you're making your way through the crowd. You see that there's some food vendor style stuff going on there. Some squirrel on a stick, maybe some Meyerlurk omelets being served up. A lot of good smells going on. You got Jim on the boat. You know he's over there, probably, having to smell all these smells waft through. You got a lot of people starting to crowd around the trading station. You know what I'm going to say that about this time, you see that the people are crowding around the trading station because a new Brahmin is rolled up, and that is what leads you to believe that old Rusty might be coming along with it, that maybe he's making his way through the throng. It's turned into something akin to a little bit of a street fair going on out there. There's a little bit of hubbub and a little bit of hustle. All these people, couple new folks come into town. Some of the raiders that came in with Rusty as, his defense, his guards. Raven makes her way over to the hold of the boat and asks Jim, let's see, if there are, what's this say? Hold of the boat to prepare things and maybe ask Jim if he wants me to do this. So Raven's going on in there with you, Jim. Got a Raven typing. She sent a picture in chat that looks like a Mothman summoning circle.
Hey, Jim, you want to ask the Wise-On for help?
Look, as much as I rag on your stuff, I think this is probably the one and only chance I'll ever do it. So I think we should.
Sam, did you go with them to the boat? I didn't hear an answer to that. I'm sorry. Maybe we don't have Sky for a second. Maybe he stepped away. That's okay. So Raven, you're asking Jim if he wants help. Jim's saying yes.
Just okay, but be warned, if I do this, these could go very wrong if not done right.
Mac and her Mothmans. Mothmans.
I will need piece of fabric from you.
Okay.
Guess I will get your work making the summoning circle. You can't go to the party, I guess. Yeah, the mayor is having a party about you hanging.
What? How am I just now hearing about this?
Actually,
Yeah, it like a party out there.
yeah, you'd probably have a pretty hard time not knowing about it. The smell of street food and the rambunctiousness of people, maybe even a little bit of street music going on out there, people with their little banjo and stuff like that.
Well, Jim, I think we screw up.
How?
Well, you did touch that orb I did egg you on.
Yeah. Yeah. But we all agreed it was self-defense. That's what we're going with.
Really?
I believe so.
Okay, gang, we gotta get moving on here fairly soon. What you saying, Raven? Also, DK, we're getting a lot of your mouse clicks and stuff like that through tonight for some reason.
Oh, really? Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, all that.
What the hell?
Nothing, says Raven. Do we have Sam back, Sky?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you were gone, right? You didn't hear me earlier.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Step away for one moment.
All good. So Raven came over and conversed with Jim. As you guys are on the boat, you do see Rusty coming down the dock there, and you see him clapping. He goes, "Come on, everyone! Hello! Come on, get out of here! Let's get Jim. The town's saying it's time. You guys gotta come out. Hello, Sam. There you are. How you doing, man? Made it just in time. Oh, I didn't know there were so many festivities. I would have brought more like trinkets and sound makers and stuff like that for the people. Didn't know it was such a town fair vibe."
I didn't know it was going to be like this either. It seems a little bit jovial based on the circumstances, but, whatever works.
That's right. Whatever makes the people come together in town. That's what I always say. It's all about connection, Sam. And he claps you around the shoulder. His arm is, "It's all about connection, Sammy boy. That's why I'm here even. Hell, yeah, I'm not even a lawyer, but yeah, elected me to be on your team. I, by the way, listen to some of those holotapes, and let's just say they're a little rough around the edges about actually winning the cases, but that's okay, because it's just a robot, right? I can out-talk any fast-talking, smooth-talking robot."
That's what I'm hoping. I definitely might need your help. So if you could come to my aid,
So,
I would greatly appreciate it.
question first. Are all the people here, like, about this, and they, like, want him to hang, and so, like, if we get him off, we're gonna be hanged by the angry mob or something, just so I know how fast I should plan my getaway?
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that, they'll see it for what it is. If these people agree with our defense, then hopefully justice rests.
Let's put justice back to rest. I'm all about it. Let's do it. Well, looky here, Sam. All the people are starting to get going. Is Raven getting him out of the hold there? We need to get gone there. Otherwise, they're probably not going to be too happy if we're late. Ah, there she is. Hello, Raven. Hi, how you doing? Oh, and there he is, the man of the hour, Jimbo. How you doing, man? This is sort of a celebratory day for you in a twisted way, huh? Like a mockery of a birthday or something.
Well, I feel like a clown, I'll tell you that.
Good that you got your humor about you, Jimmy boy. That's good. That's good. You'll want that. Before the bombs fell, when the people knew they were gonna die, they'd make a specific pose or a face about it. Try and have a little fun, If the bombs are coming, you might as well go out smiling, and maybe the very same with you and the gallows. If that's what gets you good and going, there we could, I don't know, take a picture with you smiling, a big old thumbs up, like the old Volt Boy logos. Let them know they never got you down, Jim. Oh, silent. Not a very fun crew here today, huh?
Well, they kept me in that ship all day, so I'm kind of out of it.
Cooked in the sun. Not a pleasant time to be in a cargo hold. Well, you know what they say. Let's go somewhere more fun than a cargo hold. Let's go to a courthouse. Okay.
Yeah, nearly done, Mr. Rusty. Give me one more min, sir.
Good luck to ya. And Jim and Sam and Rusty all head down the dock to the courthouse. So they are all making their way over here. I don't know that I got a Rusty. I think I did have one of them on here. Can I find him again? Rusty Bones, a ghoul. So as you all begin your kind of walk down the path, you kind of see a little bit of a line of people start forming up along the street in front of the courthouse. You got people kind of gawking, taking, a moment away from their food and snacks and all the rest to take a look at who's being walked down the street. You got Rusty, who's kind of just pushing his way through there, not any kind of bother for him. He's kind of used to any of these bartering and trading situations. To the people at home, for some reason, Rusty's icon's just not showing up there on the alchemy thing, but he is there somewhere. Let's try and resync it. Good old alchemy. There we go. So Rusty's going in the courthouse. Is there anyone outside doing anything extra before then? I mean, Raven, you're on your thing. We know that. Is there any... Sam, Jim, you guys, you're going in.
Yes, I've got my statements prepared. I'm ready to roll.
Okay, then. As you all begin filing into the courthouse, you can see it is quite packed. There's, again, a lot of people outside. There's a sort of a silence that begins to fall over the crowd out there as the mayor gathers everyone to attention. He goes, "Welcome, citizens of Hope, to our very first trial in the town. This is the people of Hope versus Jim Wayne. Jim, welcome to your trial. Please take a seat next to the judge. You will sit here before the court as they judge your correctness in your actions. Sam, you have selected a jury. In this case, you have identified that you found this court case to be suspect and circumstantial. You were worried about the integrity of the case. You have been given the option to gather 5 jurors that may represent your interests in this case. Who have you selected?"
I've chosen the town trader Terry, the Hell's Bells Lena, Tom, and the town doctor Jacob.
Very good. I find these to be acceptable picks with one alteration. Lena was not cognizant, conscious, or otherwise capable during the altercation that transpired. Instead, I will swap her with one cultist from their division, that way giving them some legroom on this court, whereas the rest have all interacted with Jim prior to this event, therefore not equaling a completely impartial jury. Do you accept this alteration?
I do.
Very good. Then the court case can proceed. Jim Wayne, you are charged and accused with the murder of a cultist of the orb in their home allotted to them by your companions and the town of Hope. We find you to be guilty of this act of heinous violence within the boundaries of the town of Hopewell, now identified as Hope, as the Smile unit assigned to your designated area. It is my duty and jurisdiction to oversee this trial and to present our jurors with the most impartial information available. You will have at least 3 different questions and cross-examinations in which we will gather information. You may use these as attempts to sway the jurors in your favor or against your favor, depending on the outcome of your plea. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well. With that charge, we will open the case to hear your first line of defense. Sammy boy, hi, I realize, so you got a whole thing going on here. What the hell am I doing here?
I just need you to back me up in case anything happens. And above board, I'm wondering if we do a charisma check, could he help me? Essentially, could that be his role, like assisting me?
Oh, yeah, we could use him as a help role. Sure, that works. above board as well, what's going to happen is in at least 3 segments of dialogue between yourself and the court here, there's going to be a roll from you, the person, whether that's you, Raven, or Jim, and then I will roll a 2d20 for each member of the jury in fast succession, and that will be whether or not they believe you for that. With a nice with a nice odd number of 5, there should always hopefully be some majority between those. So, as usual, your goal is to try and succeed these checks. They may not always be speech and charisma checks. That was a warning. Depends on the material you're going over in that. So the first thing the judge is opening it for you all is to describe any sort of defense to this. I think with just the sense of how much we've already talked here today, I think just to keep the audience a leg ahead, that the mayor would go through and describe that there was, this crime that was identified, that a murder happened. But again, everyone at home's heard us talk about that for the last 2 hours. So I'll skip over him doing that and instead pass it to all of you if you do want to make that opening statement about it, whether Jim wants to speak first or Sam wants to speak.
Jim, do you want to go first, or do you want me to speak for you?
I think it would be more professional if you spoke for me.
All right, you're not going on the defending yourself route.
No.
That's probably for the best.
The court
that
sees
doesn't end up well.
Sam has the floor.
Okay. So, we know Jim as a man of science. This means that Jim, he likes to ask questions. Jim isn't here to deny that he broke the cult's rules. He touched the ball, knowing full well, the orb, knowing full well it was forbidden. But in this wasteland, rules mean less than survival. He didn't come looking for a fight or disrespect. He came looking for answers. The cultists didn't respond with words or warnings. They reached for their guns. And when someone points a gun at you, the only choice is to defend yourself or die. Jim made the hard choice to live. Not because he wanted blood, but because he had to. Beyond this incident, Jim is a cornerstone of this community. He helped repair our generators, powering homes, and hope alike. He revived our police protectrons, giving us safety against these potential threats coming up, like these Mothman cultists. And he helped bring us back the APC and the boat, tools that can protect and connect us with other communities. Today, you, members of the jury, decide if survival is a crime, or if Jim is the man who keeps this town alive.
Sam, interesting opening statement on behalf of the defendant, Jim. You have outlined that Jim knowingly violated the cult's rules of safety and religious sovereignty to experience a scientific moment by violating their personal property. Is this correct?
Yes, but I have further evidence to add to the table.
Evidence may be submitted in a momentary fashion. Is it correct that against protocol, Jim is pushing for a self-defense plea, though he has shown that it, by your statement, is not self-defense, but scientific inquiry? Is that correct?
I would say it is self-defense, because they pulled the guns on him first.
After Jim was made aware that touching the orb would result in physical violence. Correct.
Correct.
In this case, self-defense seems like a stretch at best. It seems Jim knew full well, as you mentioned, full well, that the cult would react in this way to a violation of their religious sovereignty, yet proceeded to do it anyway in the interest of scientific inquiry. Is that correct?
Correct.
So in this context, Jim knew that he was violating these people's personal property when he went into their home. Then, when the cultist acted exactly as he expected them to, he saw a drawn weapon and chose to proactively eliminate the cultist wielding the gun. Is that correct?
Correct. And I will expand further in the future.
We would like to invite our first witness to the stand. We would call Jim to the stand. Jim, please come forward. Does Jim go forward?
Yes.
Jim, can you corroborate the information Sam has said on your behalf?
I can.
So it is true that you knew that if you perform this act, that the cultists may react with violence.
Yes.
So you knew that touching the orb would likely provoke a strong response from these members, correct?
Yes.
This court struggles to find how self-defense could be used in a case where you knowingly sought to provoke violence from these members when touching and potentially defiling their personal property.
Well, actually, I was not trying to provoke violence. I was, in fact, heeding the call laid forth by the orb itself.
Does not compute. This court does not acknowledge the orb as a source of law or guidance for the town of Hope. Do you have anything else to say for yourself?
No, Your Honor.
Then we would dismiss Jim unless any of the opposing counsel wishes to cross-examine him. We have found that his testimony here is damning. Flash over to the boat briefly that Mac is starting to perform a ritual. Raven, I should say, is starting to perform a ritual. She has cut her arm and place Jim and Mr. Mayor Smiles on the board. I place the eggs to summon the wise one. I will light the candles when the trial is over, then do my prayer. I will do something with the court. I'm starting to get my body and soul ready to, says Raven. Sam, which information would you like to present to the court?
I pull the magic 8-ball out of my bag and I show it to the court. And I say, this is an orb similar in question to the one of that night, that morning. And this is what these people put their faith into, how they make their decisions. And I point to the fact that it's mass-produced and that there's an inscription saying that it was made in China. And it was made by the very people who destroyed this world beforehand. And we are expected to have these people put their faith into it and rally behind this town and potentially put a man to death today.
The court does not know how to process this statement. The cult's religious beliefs are irrelevant to your friend extrajudicially murdering them in their home after handling their property.
My point being that it is not some sacred relic. and that drawing weapons over this was ludicrous to begin with.
Is sacred not defined by those who hold it in such regard? Well, a question then for the jury.
I think one believes do have sway over this world, Mayor Smile.
Raven has entered the court. If you would like to speak, you may come for examination. And he gestures that you go to the front of the courtroom and sit in the little chair.
Ask then, Mayor.
We'll let Sam go ahead and do your charisma roll and see what you get as a score. And then it's up against all these other people on the jury here.
Can I re-roll that 14?
You may, yes. And Rusty can help you here with... Yeah, he gives you +1, so you got 3 successes. One person gets 0, another one gets 2 successes, another one gets 2 successes. One of the jurors you did not sway, and the other did not sway. So you're able to sway 3 of the jurors in that case. So that round goes to you guys in that case. Raven is now up on the stand. Raven, we will ask you a battery of questions to which you can answer yes or no. Is it true that you have traveled with this companion, Jim, for approximately 4 weeks or slightly more?
Yes.
Have you, in the time you have known him, seen Jim commit violent acts?
No.
Error. We will remind you that you are under oath and that false answers will come with consequences. Should you lie again in front of the court, you will be tried for forgery, perjury, and other acts of undermining the liberty and law of the Town of Hope. Would you like to answer the question correctly? Have you seen Jim engage in violent acts?
But I never seen Jim do a crime.
That was not the question. Further attempts to undermine the court's judgment will result in punishment, including death. Have you ever seen Jim commit a violent act?
No.
Error. You see people in the crowd are starting to look tense. Lena kind of looking around. Hell's Bell's got a pretty composed face, but a little bit of a grin shining through on it. The mayor turns full body pivot towards you, Raven, and you can see both of his arms extend forward, displaying the laser systems. The court will ask you one more time for an honest answer. It is known that Jim has committed violent acts in your presence in front of the Town of Hope, in defense of the town, including Mirelurks and other targets. Continued false answers will result in summary judgment, as you are convicted of undermining the law. Could we try one last time with honesty, please?
I think you are no better than one that hang me you call my savage.
This is not part of the court case. Please remove Raven from the court as she is an unwilling witness. And Hell's Bells unfortunately has to get out of her seat as a couple of the armed militia guard from around the thing start to kind of move in. And Hell's Bells says to you directly, Raven, she says, okay, he's asking you some pretty straightforward questions. It's time for you to go. Sorry to do it to you, bud, but as he said, if you violate one more of these protocols, they might put you down here, and I can't say I'm too fond of the way you're acting up on in our courthouse either, so I'm going to ask you nicely to leave, but only once will I ask. The mayor turns to the court and goes, please wait as Raven vacates the building. There's a weird hush that falls over the place. People are a little about all this.
But I must save Jim no matter the cost.
The mayor hears that and turns just his upper body towards you. Should you try to interfere with the justice divvied out by the town of Hope, you will then be a hostile combatant and join your friend. Is that understood? Now Hell's Bells is like, grabs you firmly by both shoulders. She goes, you're leaving now. Again, there won't be another warning. This is your time to go. And the other guys come over and grab you by the arms as well. You're now like by 3 people, basically. They are firmly grasping onto you. That if you were to try and kind of react to this, you would have to use a show of force to get out of this sort of thing. Does Raven, she's typing something here. The memes in the chat. The memes in the chat.
I will go for now.
Yes, you will, says Hell's Bells, and they drag you out the door. They drag you out, Raven. Her and two other guards have you by the arm now, and she's behind you, pushing you out the door. They take you out to the street here, and Hell's Bells goes, well, I'm supposed to be on the jury right now, and you're making this mess not any good or better for your friend there, Raven. I don't know what you're doing if you got...
But mark my words, Bells, this mare will lead you to your to-doom.
Well, let me just tell you one-on-one, now that we're outside the courthouse, your friend Sam seems to have it pretty well under the belt. I mean, looking at the other jurors, they were okay with it, but now you're making a scene for nothing. You know they had it on the lock at the rate they were going. I think maybe you're not suited for this type of environment and maybe should not go back in. I mean, you're not allowed. They will shoot you. I'm giving you guys, both of you, all of us here, see. I'm telling them, if she tries to go back in through the front door, any window, shoot to kill, boys. We're trying to keep a little bit of peace here. And if you're trying to not do that, then, well, you see, now we're going into a little bit of frontier justice. Let's just hope we can keep it to one death today at most and not have a whole town shootout, huh?
Can I watch from the window at least?
No, you may not. You're out of here. Go down the street somewhere that's not here. Go get yourself a Marler cake and take a breather. Back inside the courthouse. Raven can still finish out what she's thinking about, but back inside the courthouse, a rather tense scene. Everyone kind of gathers their composure back. The mayor turns to Sam and goes, it is unfortunate that one of your best witnesses conducted herself in a way so unbecoming of a citizen of Hope. We will move forward with the trial. Sam, did you have any other forms of defense you would like to call forward? You previously announced that your friend may be attempting to use the excuse of insanity.
Yes. As noted in his testimony, when he said he believed the orb called to him.
So, please explain to the court, is your friend fully cognizant of his actions in which he knew the behavior that he was engaging with the cult might result in violence? Are you aware that that contradicts the claim of insanity?
I think that it's possible that this orb has put him into types of a fugue state where, despite knowing now that he was told before, at that point in time, it didn't matter. These other cultists, these other followers of the orb, have they ever had an experience where the orb called them? Have they felt that strong power pull from them before?
The problem is, Sam, the orb cult's beliefs are not on trial today. The trial is about your friend's actions when functioning of full mind and knowledge, as he just demonstrated to the court under oath, saying he knew what he was doing and the actions and responses it may elicit. Is the argument that because the orb cult's beliefs do not stack up to your own, that their ideas are therefore lesser and worthy of extermination at any time?
I'm implying that he was so enchanted by their beliefs that he felt the urge to touch it. He may have known that it was bad, but he was pulled directly to it from the orb itself.
Just a heads up, Sam, or Sky, we're hearing a constant clicking from your side whenever your mic goes live. It sounds like a mouse click, maybe?
Sorry.
No worries if that's something that... So then, the consensus is Jim was so enchanted by this orb he knew he should not touch that he was then prone to acts of violence, including the murder of one cultist. Yes, Raven, you may roll a sneak check. Difficulty 3? 4, because they're there. You better use AP. People are there. What's Raven rolling? Difficulty 4, Raven. God, if this goes wrong, I'm also going to say there's a whatchamacallit of 2, a complication range of 2. It could be more, but I'm going to go with a complication range of 2. Is Raven ready for it? How much AP you got in your pool? 2. I could buy you 1 die. That's a rough one, Raven. That's a rough one. Trying to climb onto the roof. Keep in mind, it's so high because you're trying to climb on the roof in the middle of the day with a crowd outside, including 3 security. I mean, I think Hell's Bells has probably gone back inside, but, you know, she's left probably one guard outside, that guy that you can see there, and you've got the other inside with her. Maybe the other stayed out there too. So very high difficulty to get up there just because it's the middle of the day and everyone can see you, basically. You also were really unceremoniously, like, booted out of the courthouse. So, like, people in the street would have definitely paid attention to that. Like, they definitely would have seen that you were very, like, bluntly, curtly, like, tossed out of the courthouse. And again, told not to be anywhere near it. So the Hell's Bells was very clear. So, freaking rock on, Raven. Let's go, Raven! Come on, what are we doing?
I will buy one more die.
Let's flip and go. Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, let's do it, Raven. Come on. Come on. What do you have to lose? Your life. Whoa!
That's crazy.
Raven got 5 successes, not even close to a complication. Not even close. You get 1 AP back in your pool, which keeps it the same there. That is amazing dice roll right there. Amazing dice roll. 5, an 8, and a 4.
The Raven lives for now.
You would have gotten shot 100%. 100%. They were going to shoot you right then and there. There was no hesitation, no guesstimation. They just would have shot you. Whether you lived or not would have been completely up to your health points and their weapon. But you got so lucky.
I have fire back.
You could have. The complication would have also like put your foot through part of the roof of the ceiling of the church or anything like that. So you got real lucky. You were up there, stealthy as hell. You must have gotten lost in that crowd so quickly, double back around, got a chance to pet the Brahmin right as you swoop right up on the side of it. It's almost like watching like a leaf in the wind or something. She's right up the side of it. You barely even notice it's happening. Nothing to even see. And she's there. Are you doing anything while the rest of this is going on? Because I think we're about at a ready point to roll again for these people. Trying it a different way. They're rolling a lot of dice. Okay, so
I'm just watching and listen.
Okay, Sam, why don't you go ahead and roll that speech and charisma one more time? And again, Rusty can help you out here.
All right, I'll pay for a die.
Go for it. Two successes. Okay, gotcha. Let's
Can
see.
I use my perk to reroll that?
Yes. Is there any limitation, by the way, on how often that perk is used? Is it?
Well, because I have the perk and I was wearing the clothes.
Oh, okay. So one's getting used once and the other's getting used the other time.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yes, you may. Three successes. So, 3 jurors are with you, 2 are against. I think that's the same as it was last time. Broke down. So this we got one more roll left in the court here for tonight. So I think at this stage the mayor starts bringing a conclusion to all of this and goes, "Are there any more cases to be brought forward in evidence or other arguments before the jury convenes to decide upon the verdict? In the case thus far, Sam has attempted to describe how Jim both understood and knew what sort of heinous act he was committing when he violated the sovereignty of the cult's home, and that because cult did not follow the appropriate guidelines and belief systems as Sam and Jim, they were prime and prone to be executed for their failure to meet the standards and beliefs of these travelers. Would anyone like to add to the testimony? Do you guys want to call any witnesses? Do you want to call any people up? Like, you could cross-examine anyone you want. You can kind of do anything at this moment. This is the last straw, but you heard the case that the mayor's making, which, again, just to clear it up, is Jim very well knew what was going on. They're now kind of getting you in a little bit of a bind, Sam, where on one hand, you know, you guys have advocated that Jim did totally know what he was doing. Jim said so much when he was being examined. And then it sort of backpedals and pivots to like, oh, wait, Jim didn't know what he was doing. He was enamored by the mystical nature of the orb. So therefore, like, Jim's baseline programming is inherently violent or something like that. The court's a little bit formally like, I would say, and this might be giving, no, this is probably fine information to give, that based on sort of the roles for the jury and stuff like that, you're keeping the majority of them on your side, but I mean, it's a hair's breadth on on that. So, is there anything, again, extra people want to pull any other stops out before the jury does its one last thing and then deliberates?
I feel like I've exhausted a lot of what I have to say.
Okay.
I don't know what I would ask them that we haven't already kind of established. If Jim has any ideas, I would be all for it.
Jim?
No, I mean, we've done as much as we could, I think.
Okay. And Raven up on the roof. Anything you want to do before they go and start deliberating?
I pray.
Okay, so you formally pray then, right? Are you using a luck point to channel, and is this using your whole experiment from earlier? Like your whole little ritual thing?
No, this prayer more like one would do for safety.
Okay, so you're not praying to the Mothman.
No.
Well then. That brings us to the conclusion of today's episode. The court comes to a close as the mayor says, given the evidence presented today and the arguments, we would now ask the jury to deliberate and give us their answer first thing in the morning. Until then, please enjoy the festivity and food. There are street vendors and supplies now that we have our illustrious Rusty in town. Please help yourself to merchandise and vending items. And the court looks a bit shaken in the face as you all look out and begin getting a read of this courtroom. You see that the faces of your friends are very, very mixed. There is a wave of uncertainty over them. The answers and cases put forward today didn't really bring anyone satisfactory closing on the subject. The orb cult, who is there in attendance, very nonchalant, almost uncaring in their visuals. You can pretty much see that they're there just out of being there, that this affected them directly, but they don't really care about the brother that was killed per se, and they don't really care about the town's order and proceedings. And I think that would be something that maybe has come through to everyone today as well, would be that the cultists aren't really invested in this per se. They're here out of circumstance. The townspeople, your read on them is that they're very worried about the precedence that all of this set. That it was demonstrated that you guys are concerned that the mayor maybe is bringing something negative upon the town, but given that their last interaction with all of you before you just returned was you guys slipping off after the cultist was killed, there's certainly an uneasiness to the court And as much as I want to give everyone an answer on where we hang today, we are just simply out of time. It is 10 o'clock, and it is about time for us to skedaddle. I think that's where we'll bring it to a close this week, everyone. You all can place your bets on where the last segment of the court shuffles out. Will Jim get a clean bill and survive another week, or will a bit of chaos ensue when we resume for next week's episode of Tales from Tomorrow? Under the Mothman's embrace. To everyone out there at home, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. And I want to thank all of my players who put up a great legal defense for Jim. I want to shout out our friend Sky, who plays his character Sam, our friend Dark Knight, who plays his character Jim, and our friend Mac Ravenblood, who plays her character Raven. They are our three illustrious companions that travel throughout the wasteland and bring about as much chaos with them as they put down. So, to everyone out there, I hope this little cliffhanger will tide you over till next week. Let me know again in the YouTube comments, did they do a good defense? What do you find? Let us know. Do you find Jim guilty? Is he innocent? We'll put this to the jury of our peers here, the listeners and the lovers of the show, to let us know in the comments. Please leave a comment on YouTube about that. That'd be very, very interesting. We still got Raven up on the roof, so who knows what she might bring about. Whoo! I felt the mayor was unfair, says Raven. Well, you guys can tell me all about the mayor's unfairness in our decompress episode, The Case Review, which follows this one directly afterwards. I got to take this beautiful doggo outside. He's come over to say hi. Hi, Louie. And let our friends gather their thoughts on this episode. I hope there'll be a lot of chatter. And I want to tell people that if you like this episode, I mean, not only give this a thumbs up, but check out the description there. We've now got the case review, should be tagged, or I should say linked in this episode's description. If you're on Spotify or a podcast player, just maybe go to overseerkyle.com. That'll get you links for it in case it's not there. But everyone on YouTube, that'll definitely be there for you. I want to thank you again for your time and your energy tonight. If you joined us in the Twitch chat, absolutely amazing. We appreciate you so much for being here. A brief reminder that you can use the code VAULT20 to save 20% off at checkout on the Bethesda Gear Shop. And if you want to get yourself a copy of this TTRPG, you could use our evergreen code BTAILS on the Modifius site to save 10%. And as always, all of our links, as I just mentioned, well, that's not the one that has it. This one, all of our links are at overseerkyle.com. But the one I flashed up there in the meantime was the coffee link, so you can go find it there too. All the good stuff. That's everything. Join us in Discord. Join us on Twitch. Join us on Instagram and TikTok. All the rest. We'll see you later, everyone. Be safe out there in the wasteland. Until next week. Bye-bye.